Hello, my name is Claire Hand. I am a graduate student at the University of Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm studying for my MED in Higher Education Leadership. This semester I have the opportunity to teach an undergraduate course titled The Leadership Experience for the Office of Civic Engagement and Diversity. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Webquest that I designed for this class and several elements in it. I'll talk about my motivations for creating it, an analysis in relation to certain theories and practices regarding online instructional tools, the design behind it, assessment tools, the philosophy. But before I go any further, I would like to offer a little background about Webquest if you're not already familiar with them. A Webquest is an online instructional tool. It was created by Dr. Bernie Dodge in 1995 at the San Diego State University. When it was created with Web 1.0 technology, and currently it's widely used in K through 12 education. For my colleagues in the distance education course, I will post some websites, articles, and Dr. Dodge's YouTubes on Webquest where you can learn more about it. Now, for my motivation for designing this Webquest. As I mentioned, I teach a leadership course, and I assigned my students a final project as their final exam. And in this project, they are required to use the leadership skills that they learned in the face-to-face classroom, and they are tasked to go out, connect with a community organization, and develop, plan, and host a community event. Now, I saw that my students needed more information regarding leadership skills and other aspects of leadership theories and practices to help them be successful. So I created this Webquest that focuses on shared leadership to help them, and it also offers them many resources on different aspects of good leadership. My Webquest is titled Shared Leadership for the College Student, and you can access it at Google Sites. The address is sites.google.com/sites/shared leadership Webquest. If you would like to view it, it is by invitation only, so you'll have the opportunity to contact me via Google Sites, and I'll be more than happy to share access with you. Now, more about the motivation. I had the perfect opportunity to create something to help my students learn more. And also, I wanted to see how I could make it an effective tool in post-secondary education. As I had mentioned before, it's primarily used in K through 12. So this was my opportunity to tailor it for college students. In it, they will have the opportunity to use the social change model, which is the core model of their program, and also other philosophies such as the fish philosophy, and they will work those together with the shared leadership model, which is new information for them, and other practices. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about the design. I designed it with two things in mind. I relied on Bonk and Zhang's R2-D2 leadership learning theory model. And that says that any online instructional tool should have 4 learning components. That's reading, reflection, doing, and displaying. I incorporated those 4 learning activities into this Webquest. For reading, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's the content that the students will have to read, and it leads them step by step to progress to their next assignment. For reflection, they are instructed to reflect on their social change model, as I mentioned before, shared leadership, their LPI, which was determined in the classroom. This is the Leadership Practice Inventory by Kozes and Posner. And they will look at their strengths in relationship to their LPI, and they will play out a role with each other with that. For display, they have several assignments. They have a paper that they must complete that will reflect what they learned from this Webquest, and it will answer specific questions that I have set up for them. They have a presentation to give in the face-to-face classroom. And they also have a self-assessment test that they will need to take to see where they are at the beginning of their quest regarding their leadership strengths. For doing, that will be displayed by how they actually work together and what practices they incorporate, such as mentoring each other, which is required for this assignment, their group project, how they used different skills that I have pointed out to help them to accomplish their group project for community work. And also I will look at their discussions to see how they are helping each other. For Web 2.0 design, I ensured that I used a variety of multimedia. Web 2.0 is the second level, obviously, from Web 1.0, where all resources are online based. Formerly in Web 1.0, the Webquest is web-based. However, the resources may not all be web-based. With my Webquest, I designed it utilizing a variety of multimedia, including e-books, e-articles, podcasts, interactive documents, leadership websites from government, academic, student organization, and community sources, YouTube clips to help them and to give them an exposure to a variety of resources that will give them information that they can use. And it also helps to make it more interesting for the students. Regarding theory, Webquests originally were based on the constructivist thought. However, my Webquest is designed based on connectivism, and I used all of the principles that Siemens mentions for online instructional tools. My colleagues in DE can go to that article. I will post that on Ning also, where you can look at the list of principles and you can compare them as you peruse my Webquest. For philosophy, I looked at Green, who is a K-12 educator, and she wrote a book about team building and how important that is for students working together. So that is my philosophy there. And I also pulled some of Bernhardt's thought on positive interdependence. And I think that that is a very strong philosophy that will be demonstrated by the students throughout their activities, because everything that they do, they are dependent on each other for success. They have a shared accountability, they must mentor each other, and they have to look to each other as a team and use those LPI strengths that they have to complement one another. For an analysis of this Webquest, I looked at Bernhardt's analysis again, and I looked at the 3 interactive treatments, and I made sure to incorporate those treatments throughout the Webquest, through the components and through the activities, and also through their outcome. And those 3 interactive treatments are student-to-student interaction, student-to-content interaction, and student-to-teacher interaction. Student-to-content interaction is self-explanatory again, because they have to be very engaged and they have to pay attention to the instructions to complete this quest properly. For student-to-student, they have the opportunity to interact with one another, as I had mentioned before. And they also have a discussion forum that I set up in the university's learning management system, which is Web Campus. And there they will discuss different aspects of the Webquest, what they have learned, how they can help each other, how they can facilitate the tasks that they need to do to get their group project accomplished. For assessments, there are 2. There is a student learning assessment, which is their paper, that gives me the opportunity to see what they learned and how they answered the questions, and also their in-class presentation. For an assessment of the Webquest as an instructional tool, I provided a questionnaire in Google Docs, which will give me qualitative data from the students regarding if this assignment was actually helpful to them, what aspects of it benefited them the most, was least helpful, etc. So this is a brief overview of the Webquest that I designed. I welcome my colleagues in distance education to peruse it, give me some feedback, let me know what you think about it, and thank you for listening. And I hope you enjoy the quest and enjoy this presentation.